What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We're back at you again, the PressPlayPodcast, and we're gonna try to do some things differently. We're gonna try to get this up and going again. It's been a couple years, give or take,
Been a little bit.
and
Been a little bit.
we're gonna give it a shot again, and we're gonna see if we can get this up and rolling. So, without further ado, I'm your host as always, Drew, and I have my co-host with me, Troy.
What's going on, guys? Good to be back. It's good to be back.
All right, so today, guys, we don't really have a lot on the docket. We got just kind of a recap of what we've been doing, where our mindset is going, like forward for this podcast, and just honest to God, it's just the biggest thing is just us making another episode again.
We're just gonna talk about the state of gaming, pretty much, and just kind of ease back into it. Nothing too complicated. So
Yeah, we're just gonna throw some things at you guys and get back in the saddle. So. All right. Without further ado, I guess we can talk about like what our mindset kind of is like for the channel, going forward. I feel like that's probably a good place to start.
yeah, I mean, we should probably start just weekly episodes. And then as more games come out, which we're gonna be talking about, I'm sure we could probably start doing 2 episodes a week when there's some more content. This is kind of the slow time of year for games, anyways. So instead of just making fluffed content that's not, great, I say we just opt for 1 a week at the moment.
Right. Unless like we have obligations or something, I feel like we need to make it a thing to where it's at least once a week, because if we're not doing it once a week, things are going to start slipping and it's just going to fall apart. That's what always happens with any channel, with any regimen, with anything in life. You stop doing it and eventually you forget about it and you stop doing it. So we have to make it a priority. That's our first and foremost thing. And once a week. I mean, we can change the days around. It doesn't really matter. Probably on a weekend, I would assume. But also, you get off of work like at a relatively decent time, and I'm usually almost always off at that time. So we'll make it work. We'll try to be consistent. I don't know if it'll be the same day. I would like it to be the same day, so that way everybody, has like a set time where they can kind of expect.
Yeah.
But I guess also I didn't think about, we could also record it and then just have it come out at a certain time. We don't have to release it as soon as it's done. So.
No, yeah, I mean, we can release it. I think Friday's a good one. Lets people on the weekends have a chance to watch it or see it. So I think Friday's a good release date. But I mean, we can mess around with where we want to release it.
Yeah, sounds good. So with all that being said, I think the game plan is at least just for me and you to be doing this. We might have some people on some special episodes or something, but not trying to be rude to anybody, but I just would like to keep this just me and Troy. Just keep it simple for the most part, unless we have, something else going on. Because when you start getting like 4, 5, 6 people, it becomes just a mess. It really does. It's so hard to manage 6 people's schedule compared to 2. So yeah. And I guess we can start it off. I mean, we already started it off technically, but we can start off the real meat and potatoes of this podcast by just going over what we've been playing. So, I know for me, gaming's been pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty rough over the course of at least the last honestly 2 years. I really feel like it's just been pretty bad. But over this last, I'll just, go over from the beginning of the year to kind of now. I haven't really played like a ton of games. I was going through The Witcher 3 for a while. I still haven't beat that. I'd like to at some point, but that game is just so vast, so open, so many things to do. And not in a bad way like most games now, but there's just frankly too much to do. I have like 100 hours in the game, and I don't even have the story complete. So, I mean, it's a grind. It is a grind. You could easily sink probably 500-600 hours in that game, probably as a completionist.
Oh,
so, and that's easily what I try to do when I play those games. So, God only knows when I'll get it done, if I will get it done. I haven't played it in like 2 or 3 weeks. But
I mean, MLB's coming out soon. That's going to take up some time. It's going to be a backlog game now.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a good fallback game. MLB's getting ready to come out, and I mean, you guys probably don't care because a lot of people, sports games are so niche unless it's 2K or Madden. But, you know, you can tell I'm a baseball fan by the hat. I like baseball. MLB is one of my games. You know, it's looking pretty good. I'm not going to sit here and just, you know, because nobody really cares about that. So I'm not going to sit here and dive deep into it. But I'm excited for that. I've also been playing PUBG a lot. Not my favorite game, but it's something to play. And Rivals, of course, we've played that a fair share.
Rivals has been entertaining. I think that game has a lot of potential. Mm-hmm. I think I keep seeing leaked roster moves. It's on Facebook, so you know it's probably not true. But I mean, they're thinking Beast's gonna come out next from X-Men and Blade, and so I mean, it looks like the future's pretty bright. But I don't know. I mean, Overwatch had a pretty bright future, and then one bad move, and that game went downhill rapidly.
That's the thing with those live service games. You have to be, well, in all honesty, from my perspective, it isn't that hard because you just make a good game and you make good updates and you don't become too money hungry and you have recipes for success. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't released too many skins, which shows that they're kind of more interested, it seems, in characters than skins. So that's a good omen, but
I'm already wanting to go off topic. I'm already wanting to go off topic because, you know, how we were talking about, you know, if it's broke, don't fix it. It just brings me straight to Call of Duty. That's the first thing I think of. Because what do people want? They still want the same thing they've wanted since Black Ops 2. They want a simple but fun, addictive first-person shooting experience, like in the arcade genre.
Yep.
No skill-based matchmaking. Just standard matchmaking based on connection, and that's it. You have ranked for comp play. I don't understand why it's such a big, distinction. And I'm not trying to sit here and talk about this for an hour, but it just... That's the first place my mind went to, because literally it shows that people want the same thing and they just want maybe a slight twist, a slight, variant to it. Like, which Call of Duty shouldn't be year to year release, in my opinion. It should be once every 2 or 3 years at the bare minimum.
Well, when you have 2 or 3 companies making one, though, I mean, I just don't get why 3 companies are splitting it, because it's like every year you get one. I mean, look at Battlefield. New Battlefield's coming out. You seen the trailer? Like, they went back to their old roots. Like, they were slowly starting to become like Call of Duty, and people were like, well, I'm not going to play this. So if they actually changed it and went back to the old ways, if that game gets super popular, which I think it will, and it plays well, I think Call of Duty's going to have to switch. Because, I mean, with Rivals out, Call of Duty's dead. When Rivals came out, Overwatch died. Like, it's just going to show that simple gameplay that's fun with friends and has fun content is what people want, which shouldn't be, a Harvard math equation to figure that out.
No, it shouldn't be, because, I mean, the consumer, the customer, they're always right, regardless of if they're wrong. They're right because they're paying your bills, so they're right. Yep. With any business, it's the same.
If the consumer just didn't pay for games that were doing that stuff, they'd have to change it. But unfortunately, some people just want to get it because they're fine settling for it, which, I can get to an extent.
Yeah,
but
I get to an extent too, because like with MLB, sure, it's not like I keep going back to that, but that's the best, analogy I have. Like, it's not the best game, but it's something that I enjoy playing, and it's something that I'm good at, which I can't say about a lot of games, but I'm pretty good at that. And it's just something that, you can go back to and feel decent at. But with Call of Duty, with the skill-based matchmaking, people can't really do that anymore. Like, I think, I don't know.
No, I mean, everyone knows you can have one great game where you feel like, oh, wow, I'm finally getting better. And then they'll throw you into a lobby full of people they act like professionals. Like, it's just not even fair. Like, you can have like 3 good games and then 5 terrible ones. It makes you not even want to play anymore. There's no rhythm to it.
No, I was literally like, I don't play Call of Duty anymore, but I watch people's videos on it frequently when they talk about it. And there's a guy, his name's Nero Cinema. He's been around for a while. I was watching him last night, and he was just kind of going over like how he turned off skill-based, or not skill-based matchmaking, excuse me, he turned off the, I wish you could do that, I'd start playing it if you could do that. He turned off the cross-play to where it was just Xbox people, and he I don't remember how many matches he played, I think it was like 20 or 30, or it was like 30, around 30. His record, like overall statistically, was like he had 900 kills and like 300 deaths, which is like a 3.3 or three something KD just by turning it off. And when he normally plays the game, I think it's around like a 1. So like I don't know, but he said
keyboard and mouse are always going to be superior. Like to me, it's ridiculous that that's even like they try to mix those. I mean, that's
no. And then you have dummies that don't know. Well, you have it in every facet of life. People that don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they sit over here. Oh, Master Keyboard. Well, guess what? Why the hell do they don't allow those people in like the competitions where you get the money? So that should go to show you if it's just skill versus skill, then why the hell is it not allowed in the tournaments? Why the hell isn't it controller versus mouse and keyboard? No, they stick to like their own. It's literally just I don't even know what to say. Those people are.
I mean, Call of Duty deserves its own episode, almost like a rise and fall of Call of Duty.
Because now I'm already just getting passionate and ready to just charge into battle like Braveheart and just take down the beast that is Call of Duty.
We're gonna have you in here on an episode with the blue face paint.
You know what? I should do that. You know, I think if we do that, I'll actually do that.
With the Claymore sword.
I don't have a Claymore, I have a katana. That's probably the closest we'll get, unless I buy one.
No, it's alter universe.
But I don't even know how long we're at, but I think we spent probably at least 10 to 15 minutes talking about Call of Duty, which just goes to show that game is a mess. It's a disaster. It has a super low player count compared to where it normally is. I believe at not that, like, at the beginning of Season 2 or halfway through Season 2, not that long ago, the player count was at the same player count that it was for the end of the last, like, Call of Duty's life cycle when it's dead and before the new game's about to come out. So, unless you have anything you want to follow up on to end it, but we should probably go to another topic. But if you want to, like, kind of, like, close the case on that, and honestly, I think Call of Duty probably should be our next episode, because I'm just ready to just go to war at it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely should. Just looking at the Call of Duty active player counts right now, I mean, I don't know how accurate this is, but just on Steam,
Steam makes up like at least half or over the player base.
Well, they're at 650,000, like 59,000, which is actually almost 1% lower than the last 7 days. So
and that's not just like the regular game. That's that game. That's Modern Warfare 3. That's might be Modern Warfare 2 and 1. It's at least the last 2 games. That's Warzone. That's all of that in one. And that's the player count. That is horrible.
Yeah, I mean, this one, actually, here you go. Right here it says Call of Duty Black Ops 6. This is active player count. It says online players an hour ago was 63,000. And the monthly active player count was 275,000 for a loss of negative 3,715. So it's not going great for them. In December 2024, they lost 337,000, which I think is when Marvel Rivals came out.
I think so. There's a correlation for sure.
Yeah, their average was 127,000. Now their average in the last 30 days is just under 80,000. So it needs its own episode for sure, because those stats are pretty insane. I didn't know. I knew they were bad. I didn't know it had gotten that bad. Yeah,
Call of Duty is a dying beast, and it's time to put it down. Because unless some serious changes are made, which the changes aren't even that serious, but it would be serious to the people that are in charge, because they just care so much about the little monetary gain, which, I mean, you should care about when you're a business, an organization, a company trying to profit. But at the same time, you're chopping off, the hand that feeds you by disrespecting the customers. But my God, dude, we could, I could do a 4-hour video on this. An episode.
Yeah, it needs its own episode. So I'd say we leave Call of Duty at that, and we just do a Call of Duty video, because you can just talk for hours on Call of Duty. Like, it's bad.
It is. So I guess with that being said, I'll briefly go over some of the other games I've been playing. I'm not going to have to dive deep into it. Witcher, I've been playing PUBG. I'm looking over at my PlayStation right now just to kind of see. Been playing MLB a little bit here and there, a couple games a day. Spring training, as I call it for myself, trying to get warmed up before the new one comes out because some people are so good they can hop on any game. They can just adjust to it and they're immediately great. I can't do that. I need to practice. I need to, just like anything. I can't. You need to be frequently practicing, doing it order to be good at it. I mean, that's at least how it is for me. I'm not Allen Iverson. I can't just show up without practice at the game and just ball out.
You're not Kobe.
I'm not
practicing
Kobe.
at 4 a.m. and.
Well, I am Kobe in the sense I'm practicing. I'm practicing, all right. And then I got Rivals. I've played a little bit of college football. Of course, we've played a little bit of 2K. Don't really like playing it, but I don't necessarily hate.
Kind of fun with friends.
It's playable with friends. It's playable.
Yeah, it's just a friend game, pretty much.
And right now, I am playing 7 Days to Die. You just got that as well. I mean, we've had it, but this is the PS5 one. So I'm trying to ball out on that and Oregon Trail. So that's kind of my peaceful, fun, chill game. I think it's very important for everybody to have a chill game, and right now Oregon Trail is it for me. It is a little frustrating, but not nearly as bad as the majority of games I play.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, you and me play quite a bit of the games together, so... I mean, I've been playing 2K. We play 2K together with some other people. I've been playing Oregon Trail, just got that the other day. I've been playing Humankind, which is just a Civilization reskin, pretty much. It's okay. I've been playing the Sniper Elite V2 remastered. It's not bad. I've been playing Helldivers 2, mainly with friends, but sometimes that's just a game you can get on and just mindlessly shoot. Like, you don't have to...
No,
you don't need to worry or do anything like that. Besides that, though, I mean, I was trying to get into Cyberpunk. I still have it. It's just one of those games that's a little bit harder for me to get into with us playing so many other games.
That's the thing, dude. It's hard to dive into a big game. That's like why I've had such a hard time. It's the same publisher too with The Witcher, just because there's just so much to do, and you're just like, you kind of don't want to go near it. Not because it's bad, or not because you don't like it. It's overwhelming. And, like, I don't want to just pick it up for an hour, for 30 minutes. Like, there certain games, at least for me, you need to dedicate hours and hours to, like, to even feel like you should be playing it. I can't just pick up an RPG, an open world game, a big game like that, and just chop away little by little. It isn't fun to me. I have to have long, extended periods of time, like 4, 5, 6 hours, where I can just play it once to feel like, you know, I'm even really invested in that world.
I mean, I get that. I replayed Dark Souls recently, my favorite series. Those games I can take a break and come back to just because I've played them so many times that I know what I'm doing. And then I tried to play the Final Fantasy games. Once again, those are the games where they're old school. So if you take a break for a month, you'll have no idea where you need to go. So those games, like, if you're going to play through them, you have to sit down and, like, that is your game till you beat it.
Are you talking about the pixel ones or the...
Yeah, like the remastered, like 1 through 6 or whatever.
Dude, I got the platinum on the first one, and it made me not even want to play the other ones. Because the RNG that you have to face every single enemy, and there were some that are really rare, and it would take like 2 or 3 hours just running around the same area, just waiting for a random spawn like Pokemon. That's the only thing I didn't like about it.
I missed the platinum. I needed to fight. I didn't find all the enemies in one because I messed up, and then I accidentally went to the final area before I made Excalibur. So you can turn up the XP and Gil and all that, and so it's not a huge grind to replay it again. But it's just do I really want to again?
Yeah. And
so I'm sure one day, maybe if I get, I have wisdom teeth, so maybe if I get wisdom teeth out, I'll knock it out. Not like I'd have anything else to do, but I don't feel like coming home after work and being like, that's what I want to do. So
no, it was good for its time. It still holds up kind of okay if you like that type of stuff. But for me, if I'm playing something like that, what I really like is something like Octopath Travelers or 2. I think 2 is a lot better than the first one. The first one's okay. But That's like perfect. It's just like that, but it's modernized. Uh, Honestly, if I was making my best games all time tier list, that'd be on there somewhere. I freaking loved Octopath Travelers 2 because it takes
Yeah.
everything good from those games and it like elevates it to the next level.
Yeah. Well, besides that, I was playing Hitman, and then I was playing Sly Cooper 2 and 3 because they remastered them for like $10. So I was like, why not?
I saw that.
I've just kind of been finding games that entertain me for a little bit. When MLB comes out, I'll play MLB, but other than that, I mean, the new the Night Rain, Elden Ring Night Rain, I look forward to that, but other than that, and the new Doom game. New Doom game looks like it'd be kind of fun, but other than that, I don't have anything at the moment that I'm like devoted to.
You're missing one. You're missing Killing Floor 3.
That's right. I forgot that was coming out. I'm super excited for that one too. Didn't you say it comes out in like a month?
It comes out right after MLB. I think the 23rd. I can look right now. March 25th. Very excited for that.
So, yeah. So I'm excited for that too. That will probably take over How I Play Helldivers. That will probably just be the new Helldivers.
Oh yeah, 100%. The second one is very underrated. It's one of my favorite co-op shooting games, like with friends. Like,
it's awesome.
I honestly, I wish I would have platinumed it. I wish I would have like put even more time into it because they don't make games like that anymore. So
no. Killing Floor 3, I mean, it may come down to I'm playing MLB or I'm playing Killing Floor 3.
I think that's what it's going to be for me.
Yeah, I might play like a single player game if I get burnt out on those, but there's not too much that I have else to look forward to playing. The new Assassin's Creed, I don't even know when it comes out. I don't even know if I want to touch it. I saw someone play it briefly, and what he had to say that was good about it was he said, well, it has potential for a good story, which means there's really nothing else that he had to say. Right. He did say the assassination stuff was coming back, so I was like, oh, so it's like actually Assassin's Creed. But they pushed it back because it had the camera from like PS2 days where it would glitch into the wall and stuff. And apparently you have to pick either to be a guy or a girl. And if you're the girl, you're more of the assassin type. And if you're the guy, you're more of like a samurai type. So
yeah,
if people are on the fence about it, I don't know. I have never beat an Assassin's Creed game. I've played them all, but I get burnt out on them. The closest I got was Brotherhood, and I got bored because all you did in that game was push triangle to counter.
Yeah, I get that.
So
I love the old
ones. But, I mean, Odyssey.
But
I love the old one. Revelation's my favorite. I wanted to beat Odyssey. That game's huge. I wanted to beat Valhalla. That game's huge. So, once again, it's back to the... I don't really have time to sit here and devote hours to all this resources you got to get.
No. And to go back to or echo like The Witcher, like... there's good open world and there's bad open world. Assassin's Creed is more of a mindless open world where it's just grind to grind. And then you got games like The Witcher where, you know, there's actual like good side quests, there's good story, there's good progression. It's not just a mindless just grog or just BS. I mean that's what Assassin's Creed games. Yeah, that's what Assassin's Creed games are, and that's why I fell out of love with the series. It used to be in my top 3 favorite series. I loved it. And after Black Flag, it's never been the same. Which they're gonna do the remake of that supposedly, and if so help me God, if they change it around to where it's not like how it was, I will never touch another Assassin's Creed game again. Like that'll be the final. Granted, I don't even play them now. The last one I played was Odyssey. But
I wanted to play Syndicate, and then I saw how bad like the frames were, and then after I deleted it, they updated it to 60. So I was like, cool.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I want them to make a World War II one, but I'm afraid it's just gonna be me running around with a machine gun and not actually like Assassin's.
Yeah, that's the thing. It would be so hard to modernize something like that, like unless you're gonna do something like Hitman style, which, you know, I mean,
at that
maybe
point, just play Hitman.
At that point, why would you not play Hitman? I don't, or what is it called, Deus Ex? Even though there's not like a newer one, that game's really fun. I wish they'd make another one of that. That game is really good. But what I'm anticipating / excited for, just pretty much the same stuff you said: Killing Floor, MLB, Night Rain, Elden Ring. Also have Days Gone upgrade or the remaster. I love that game, so I'll probably play through it again and get the platinum just because it's one of my favorites. I know you just recently played it, and then they come out with the upgrades, so I assume you probably won't be touching that.
I may play through it again because I really like the game too. That's kind of why I didn't platinum it. Was one because it was just a bunch of I had to go clean up some stuff to get the trophy. But I also heard rumors it was going to be remastered, so I was like, I'm not going to put in all this extra work to platinum this if I'm just going to have to also platinum the remaster. So. Right. I mean, I like it enough that, I'll play through it again. I don't care. I mean, honestly, I could skip most of the story since I played it so recently. You may actually want to sit through it if you want the story, like, more recent, but
It's still pretty fresh. I played through it, obviously, when it first came out. Go ahead.
I just love that we got a remaster, but no sequel. They're willing to remaster it, but they won't give it a sequel.
Right.
And it ended on a cliffhanger, and you're like, oh wow, this like sets it up perfect. And nope, they're like, we won't do that.
The game sells better than, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know it sold better than multiple PlayStation exclusives. But it doesn't get greenlit for a sequel.
Nope,
but it can get a remaster, remake. What sense does that make? It makes none. Because that shows that it's in demand enough for people to buy, so why not make a sequel? It is the dumbest thing. That is... PlayStation has gone down the shitter, in my opinion. They are just... I don't want to say they're free-falling, but they have just gone downhill. It is not the Sony that it used to be. I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves. The games they've been coming out with, they're just kind of... Not, like, horrible, obviously, but they're just getting progressively worse and worse. Like, you take, for example, Ghost of Tsushima, my favorite PlayStation exclusive, honestly. I think it's my favorite of all time. Maybe God of War 3. It's between those two, and then Days Gone. Ghost of Tsushima is one of my favorite games of all time. They have such a good idea set in place for the second game that they're going to do an Assassin's Creed Brotherhood style game where they have Jin train other warriors to become and take over the mantle of the Ghost, but instead we're going to go ahead and do a 300-year time gap and play as a girl who has 2 swords and guns. Cool. I'm not going to try to get into the semantics and all the political stuff, but I just don't understand why we can't just have a good idea that just gets brought into fruition. Why it always has to change so much, why there always has to be this, that, and the third. Why can't we just make a good game? Why is it always worrying about changing the gender? Like, if you're going to make a game with a girl and make it good, go ahead. I love Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is one of my favorite franchises, so you can't sit here and use that shit with me. I love Tomb Raider. I love it. I love Lara Croft. I prefer the Tomb Raider series over the Uncharted. Shamelessly. Uncharted's good. It's not Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider's way better because it's more mature. That's just kind of where I stand on that. I don't understand Sony's thought process. So hopefully the minds, or whatever you want to call it, the collective...
I'll
call it Congress.
Yep. The minds that be.
The minds that be, or not, as I like to say. Hopefully the collective... I don't even want to say think tank because it feels like they're not thinking. The warm bodies that come up with ideas at the Sony headquarters. Hopefully the collective there becomes something better than what it has been, because after we've gotten Concord, after we've gotten... people like Spider-Man 2. I thought it was fun gameplay-wise, story-wise. Was not a fan. Was not a fan of Ragnarok story at all. Gameplay awesome. Story... not good.
That's what I heard about it too.
Like you build up so good that, like, honestly, besides, like, there was Atreus and then there's Angrboda. That could have been taken out of the game. That was stupid. Why are you showing like some little kid like love like that? It is so stupid. I don't like that in a damn M game. Like, honestly, if it was a T game, if it was a spinoff, okay. I didn't like that in my M for mature God of War game. I don't. That shouldn't have been in there. And then after that. Like, yeah, Kratos can change, but, spoiler warning if you haven't played, but, I mean, my God, the game came out 100 years ago, so let's just, like, I get Kratos changing over time, But let's build it up so good to where we're just gonna smite down Loki. We're gonna smite down Zeus. We're gonna take him, or not Zeus, excuse me, Odin. We're gonna take them all down in Thor, and like let's just choose to forgive. As a religious person myself, I like the Bible. I like stuff like that. But when I play a video game of God of War, I don't want to just sit there and just turn the other cheek and forgive. When I'm playing God of War, I'm playing to come in there into battle. I'm playing to annihilate, to destroy, to pillage, to just eviscerate the foe. I don't want to just, oh, here you messed with me, you did all this stuff. Here, let's just learn to love and forgive.
It'd be like if at the end of God of War 3 he forgave Zeus. Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that he just says, you know what, Zeus, I forgive
He
you for hurting my wife
he
and
en-
children.
he ended everyone else, but Zeus, he's like, "Yep, I forgive you."
Yep.
That's the story, though, man. He learned to forgive. The ghost of Sparta.
Yep.
Now he's going to Egypt. Apparently, I don't know if that's fake, but
I hope it's real because that would be
that would be cool. I think
that would be what I would have chose. That's what I wanted for the next game, for them to go to Egypt. If they're doing some slop where they make Atreus the head character, the next main character, or they turn Kratos into some little fairy, I really don't care, man. It's getting to the point where I can't even trust Sony hardly anymore. Like, and that was the one place where I felt like I had like kind of some comfort and some security. I know this isn't a relationship, but like Sony just brought that when so many other people wouldn't. They came out with just good game after good game, quality after quality, but now it's not there. Like the gameplay the gameplay probably will always be top tier, but as far as the story, as far as the progression, as far as just the heart and soul of the video game, which in my opinion the gameplay is the most important part, but to make a truly great experience, you can't just have good gameplay. You have to have a story with heart, with soul, with good characters. And they have all that, which is why it makes no sense that they sit here and just throw everything away. Oh, we gotta change it, we gotta change it, we gotta change it. We can't keep with the times. We gotta change it, we gotta change it. No. Because you fall in love with those characters because of the way they are. You don't want them to sit here and change. It makes no sense. You don't fall in love with a woman that you love because, she's one thing one day and then the next day she changed. No. You would be like, what the hell's going on? Like, who are you? This isn't the person I married, I got in a relationship with. It's the same for a video game. Like, you don't... You just like, the person that you love, the character that you're enjoying, turns into somebody else. I don't know.
I mean, that's how most games have been going, it seems, which I don't agree with. I mean, if you want a story to develop, that's fine, but like when it feels like it's forced just because of like the generation that's playing it, that's not the point of a story. Like,
no, not
like
even.
you don't bend it to make it acceptable by the people. Like, you should tell the story how you want it to be.
Exactly.
Because, yeah, in my opinion at least, but, I mean, what do I know? I don't make the games.
No, hopefully one day I'd love to make a game. I'd love to be the creative director, the story, the narrative artist for a game. That's, like, honest to God, one of my dreams, but the amount of money that you need, or, like, asses you have to kiss in order to get in a position like that, I'm not willing to do. So, maybe one day, if I can get some money.
Better than most people.
Yeah. So, I don't really know. I guess... I don't even know how we got to God of War. I think, honestly, I forgot. But I think I was just talking about Sony. It was from Days Gone. And I got all the way to God of War.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So it's just go from one topic to the next. We're getting back in the swing of things. We're getting back in the rhythm. But the heart, soul, the passion is there. So that's really all that matters. Then after Days Gone, Killing Floor, all that. Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Hopefully Sony doesn't butcher that. But again, Snake Eater. Again, it's when it's just a remake and they don't really put their grimy little hands on like the story and change all that around, I'm expecting it to be great. Metal Gear Solid is an amazing franchise. I love it, one of my favorites. I like Splinter Cell better, but Metal Gear Solid is still top notch. Love it. Love Snake, one of my favorite characters. Badass.
Solid Snake.
Solid Snake. So I'm excited for that. Really excited for that because I think we're missing a game kind of in that genre. Like aside from Hitman, Hitman's fun. Don't get me wrong, but you don't feel like you're a super soldier. You just feel like you're just some guy going around and just putting on little outfits like a Scooby Doo game, which is fun. It's fun to go put on the different outfits and be stealthy and do this and give them the poison apple and poison. I like that. I have the game and I like it, but I want something where I can feel like John Wick, and that's what this game's gonna bring.
And I get that. My thing, I think the saving grace with Assassin's Creed though is Hitman with Hitman games now is that they just have so many different ways for you to do stuff, and they actually kind of give you hints about how to go about it. It's not like, one of them's like you have to assassinate a guy dressed as an intern.
Yeah.
It doesn't just tell you like it's locked, find it out by just playing the game. It lets you like it sets you up to actually not have to like Google or watch video. Like you can just go and try to do it yourself, which I appreciate, but he's not a super soldier. I mean, he's very much still just human. He's just trained as an assassin. So it's fun. I mean, there's a lot of people that still love that game, but the thing I appreciate with Hitman is Hitman doesn't seem to overstay their welcome. They make a game, they release content, and then you don't hear about them till they make a new one.
No, I like it, and I really liked, I forgot what it's called, but the mode where you just get dropped in and then you choose an objective, and then you have like your guns and stuff in your little like bunker. I played that more than the story. I didn't even care about the story. I was just playing that game mode, that new game mode they added in like a later update. Because I
haven't even tried that yet.
Yeah, you just literally like you pick like some objectives and like you take down like an entire like kind of like cartel like type thing. You take down the leaders of the gang, and you pick like different targets. Or I don't really know how to explain it, but it's really fun. I played that way more than the base game.
I'll have to give that a try then.
Yeah, for sure. Then there's Doom. The Dark Ages. Doom is one of my favorite franchises. I am ecstatic for that. I got the collector's edition pre-ordered, so I'm going to have the big old statue. I don't really buy collector's editions. That would be a good video for us to go around, and do. A lot of them are like good, like in the sense they look good, but like I don't, at least like monetarily wise, I don't feel like a lot of them are worth it. That's one. It's $100 for the digital deluxe, anyways. So basically, you spend $100 more, and you get a really cool statue that's pretty high quality, and you get a steel case. The steel case isn't great, but the statue is so badass that I feel like $100 isn't like the end of the world.
No.
So this will be my third collector's edition I've ever bought. I bought in Spider-Man 2, which, in my opinion, the game wasn't insane. The statue's still the coolest statue I have. Venom, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Iconic. It's that statue was worth every penny. I bought the Elden Ring collector's edition, which is still in the box. I will never take it out. It's gonna stay in there and I plan on selling it one day. And then the Doom one that I just bought. So that's all that I have. And after Doom, it's not gonna come out, I think, for at least another year or two. Onimusha. It's a series that they used to make on PlayStation. It's like a samurai type game. It is going to come out, I think, in 2026, maybe later. They're kind of revamping that, and it looks really, really good. There's also a game called Phantom Blade Zero that looks good. It's coming out that I'm interested in, but I'm not like sitting here just drum roll and just ready. But it looks good. And then we do have supposedly an Oblivion remaster that's supposed to come out this year from a team Bethesda. I forgot what the team is, but Bethesda had them work on it supposedly, and there's like a lot of traction behind that. Supposedly it's supposed to come out in like the summertime, which they have Sky Oblivion in the works too, which I'll play them both. I mean, Sky Oblivion is going to be free. You just have to own Skyrim, I think, on your PC, and then that's it. You're able to play it whenever it comes out. So I'm going to play that because they're going to actually, they've redesigned everything. That's going to be much more in depth. But the Oblivion remake, I think it'd be fun just to get, a feel for the base game again and be able to platinum it on the console. I think that'd be fun. And then I feel like I would appreciate Sky Oblivion even more because then I'll have gone back and played Oblivion and experienced that in its entirety. and then see all the details and all the changes, and like, because Oblivion's main problem, aside from like, you know, the flaky combat, you know, that's always going to be a big problem with that game. The sword where you're just
waving around like a wand.
Yeah. I was gonna say something else, but we're gonna try to keep it appropriate. But yeah, like that special weapon in Saints Row 3.
Yep. Know the one you're talking about.
Magic wand. Not Harry Potter's. But anyways. But
that's too far.
I mean, you know, for some people it might be, but for some people it might not be far enough.
That's fair. That's fair. You're one of them, so.
I'm definitely one of those people. But, yeah, I'm excited for that. I want to platinum that. Hopefully it releases on PlayStation. I would assume, you know, that Microsoft has the exclusive deal with Bethesda, so I'm hoping it's not exclusive to Xbox. Even if it is, I'm still going to play it. But I'm hoping it's on all platforms. Because Microsoft has made a big deal where they're not even really doing exclusive. They said they want their games available to play on all platforms. Supposedly Halo's coming to the PlayStation at some point. The Master Chief Collection. Which, you know, like, they still get money off of it, so I get it. But at the same time, I also don't get it, because why, like, do you want, you know, what you've built everything over the years just to come to, like, everything? It seems like, what's the point of having, you know, like, your own brand?
Different consoles.
Well, I think they said they even want Game Pass to be able to play it everywhere, so they want it to come to PlayStation. They want it to come to, like, Switch or whatever, which Switch won't ever do, but Nintendo won't ever do. But I if it came to PlayStation, I mean, I'd probably buy it, honestly.
The thing is, though, I've never met anyone who plays PlayStation that was really that big a fan of the Halo series.
I like
just
that. I
because,
love 3.
like, yeah,
That's
well, Halo's kind of fallen off from what I've heard.
Oh yeah, no, recently, no. I would just mean from the past.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're a big Halo fan, you have an Xbox anyways.
True.
Like, if you love Halo, which, I mean, I've played Halo Infinite on Xbox. I have an Xbox, and it's fun with friends, but I've never been a big Halo guy. Like, I'm sure the old stories were good, but...
No, the old stories were very good. And the gameplay at the time was... You couldn't get any better. You know, Halo at its time, from Halo 1 to probably ODST, literally the cream of the crop. Halo was that series that everybody just loved. Everybody... It was one of the groundbreakers for, like, the modern day FPS.
Oh, it was. It did a lot for gaming. Just not
just
really,
hasn't held up over
my
time.
cup of tea.
No.
Well, not many games have. I mean,
no. I'm trying to think. There's really no franchises that have really, like, sat here and, like, stood the test of time. I mean, like, yeah, you got
FromSoft games kind of have.
Well, From Software, we need to make an episode about them on their own. They're my favorite studio, bar none. They have never made a bad game. At least in the Souls-like genre. I haven't played their other games, which I would assume if they do as good a job as they do on the Souls-like genre, they do just as good in any other genre they dive into. But literally, I wish they would remake all of the Souls-like games, like, and just make them run 60 FPS, just run a little bit more modern, because I would play every single one of them. Demon's Souls I liked because it was the first Souls game that I ever beat. Souls-like game that I ever beat. And after I beat that, I was like, damn, if I can do this, there's no reason I couldn't do the other ones. So that's kind of what really got me into it. Like, Sekiro was the first one Bloodborne was the first one I played.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with those games, too, is, like, they're really not that hard. It's just once you get the skill down and, like, know how the game functions, I mean... I can play Dark Souls 1, and I can do other stuff while playing Dark Souls 1. Like, it's not... Of course, I've played through it, like, 6 or 7 times, but...
It's just...
To new people, they're super hard, yeah. Like, Elden Ring was super hard because so many new people tried it out.
Yeah.
But... Yeah.
No, the only one that's objectively, like, hard, I would say, is Sekiro.
I would agree with that.
Aside from that, because you are forced to like learn how to play it and abide by the game's rules. The other ones you can work your way around. You can like keep leveling up. You can cheese. Like Sekiro, you can do that too, but like you can't like cheese to the same extent you can in like the Souls-like games. You can always find some bleed build, some like just thing. Sekiro, if you can't parry and you can't time your attacks, you're not gonna beat it. I know at least 3 people that have gotten to the final boss on Sekiro and haven't beat him. So, which that was one of my biggest challenges too. But even more so than that, when I did the evil ending and you have to fight like 3 bosses in like 1 life, that was like way harder. It's either 3 bosses or it's 2 bosses and one has like 2 or 3 lives. It's at least 2.
I made it that far.
But yeah, no, that was way harder. You have to fight the girl that has, I think, 2 lives and an owl who has 3 or 2, which is his dad. That shit was way worse than playing, the regular guy. Because for the regular guy, the final boss, you can just use your umbrella as a shield. Like when he does his super like crazy like attack, and I don't think a lot of people knew that. I kind of figured that out. I didn't even watch a video. I just held the shield out and it just blocked the attack that like I couldn't block. So, once you figure out his patterns...
You adapted.
I adapted, and I used what the game had to offer. People say, oh, no, you're given the freaking shield. Use the shield. Not abusing the game. I save up my points because you have to use it's like little runes you have to use when you use your tool, like your prosthetic arm. And when you use the umbrella shield, it costs like 3 or whatever the points. So, nope, I'm not using the fireworks. I'm using that. And yeah, of course I'm using all the buffs and stuff, but the game gives you the confetti, so use it.
I mean, yeah, the game gives it to you, why not?
So, aside from that, I know you got to do your phone call here before too long, so I don't want to necessarily end it, but we can kind of get into like the end, the closing statements, if you will, even though this isn't a court hearing, but kind of feels like it the way we've been going on about like Call of Duty and Ubisoft and PlayStation. We've just been coming at them. I mean, their head is on the chopping block, and we're just slashing down on them. So,
yeah, I mean,
I feel like that would be a good episode. Maybe I don't know. Call of Duty probably needs its own. I feel like we can maybe all of them need their own. I don't know. It's kind of like you're. This isn't just me. This is you two, and we can both decide. But
yeah, I mean, we got tons of ideas we can go off of.
All right, I guess we can close it out here. So I want to, for all of you guys to watch till the end, thank you guys for watching. This is going to come out on YouTube for sure. I don't necessarily know if we're going to do it on anything else right now. We might later as our audience grows. But yeah, just want to thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. We will be coming out with at least 1 episode every week, barring something crazy happening to one of us. Hopefully not. But you never know. It's life. It's crazy. Yeah. So we will see you guys in the next one, and take care. Peace out.
See you guys.